Okay, so we went on a quick shopping trip this morning to Yao Brothers and to the International Food Market in Portswood. Let's have a look at what we bought. So I bought some 2 times spicy hot chicken flavour ramen. I got some volcano chicken noodles. That's crazy hot. Well, we'll see. I got a bottle of lychee flavour ramune, which is in a cod's bottle. This is a Japanese soft sparkling drink, and yeah, in a cod star bottle with a marble holding it closed. And I got some more of this. This is the black pepper flavour of vegetarian diet steak. A vegetarian diet the steak. It's a dried tofu product, but it's got a texture very much like meat. So I've got 5 packets of that because that was really good. We'll open one of those on camera in a minute. So that lot came to £11.70. So there are, I think, 5 packs of noodles there, 5 there. So 10 packs of noodles, a bottle of ramune, and 5 of those tofu snacks. I also went off to the International Food Shop in Portswood. Now, it's a very multicultural food store. It has a lot of Asian and mainly Mediterranean foodstuffs in there. So let's have a look at what we bought there. So I bought some frozen lamb sausages. I don't often see lamb sausages, so that was an interesting little treat. I'll get them in the freezer in a minute. Got some nice tortilla wraps, some nice big ones. These are yeah, just made from durum wheat. Nice tortillas. Got a can of tamarind nectar. Coming soon to Weird Stuff in a Can. Got some lovely tomatoes on the vine. Really nice, ripe, plump tomatoes. A tub of Kaimuki yogurt. This stuff's really good actually. It's got like a skin on the top of it. It's fantastic. Really, really creamy underneath. And it has this almost like a custard skin on top of it, which I really like. I know a lot of people probably don't like the skin, but I really love that. And finally, a can of corned mutton. Now, I've seen corned beef before, but never seen corned mutton. And this is one that opens with a key. Isn't that good? So anyway, so again, coming soon to Weird Stuff in a Can. And that lot came to £15.58. Most of that was the lamb sausages, which were £5. But also that corned mutton was £2.99. While we're here, I just want to show you this Kaimuki yogurt that I picked up in the International Food Store. This stuff, I really, really like it. Now, it's a kind of yogurt, it's cultured milk obviously then, and it has this skin on the top here, which not everybody likes it. So underneath there is a creamy set yogurt. It's really, it's just sub-acid, but also it's really creamy and delicious. Really tasty yogurt. But the skin itself as well. Now I just happen to like this stuff actually. It's like the skin on custard. So this is a live culture of yogurt, and yeah, I just really like it. Very, very nice with honey and fruit. Very good. So let's have a look at this. This is vegetarian diet. Well, it says a vegetarian diet the steak. It's tofu that's been dried and marinated. So ingredients are non-GM soybeans, soy sauce, soybean oil, sugar flavour mix, flour, salt, water, hydrolyzed soy protein, maltodextrin, cornstarch, flavour enhancer, spices. Anyway, it's tofu that's been dried and textured and then marinated to simulate meat. I picked this up in Yao Brothers. It was only 35p for this little pack. It's a snack pack. So let's open it up and have a look and see what it's actually like. So it contains 2 little pieces of textured soya protein, but when we look at them, they are remarkably meaty in texture. They have this pull apart into strands, just like a piece of steak. And the flavour is really rather superb. Now, I'm not a vegetarian, so I feel qualified to say that that is really rather meaty. Now, of course, you can eat that as a snack just like that, or you could chop that up and put it in with some noodles or in a stir fry. Very high in protein, probably very good for you, but is animal free. I just really wanted to give a little shout out to this guy. I think if you like the craft and cooking on my channel here at Atomic Shrimp, you might well like what Ellia does. The language is not English, it's all in Arabic, but I found you can follow along and you can figure out what's going on in most of these videos. And so he's got some very interesting cooking videos, but also a bunch of really very creative sewing and crafting videos as well, where he makes some quite decorative and interesting stuff. And so even if you can't understand the language, you can follow what's going on just by watching. So if you like the craft and cooking stuff that you find here on Atomic Shrimp, then why not head over to Ellia's channel. I'll put a link in the video description and have a look around. And if you do like anything there, why not comment and say Atomic Shrimp sent me. So this might well be the last phone that I have reviewed on a sponsored basis where I got the free sample. This is the Mi Note 5A, which came from gearbest.com as a free sample. And yeah, it's a nice phone. It's a very cheapy, low budget phone, but actually has a lot of interesting features. It seems like, you know, not a bad little phone actually for entry level Android. And it was very capable. Not quite my cup of tea. I found it a little bit light and plasticky, and I do prefer a fingerprint scanner on my phones. But anyway, so that's possibly the last time for a little while that I'm going to be reviewing a phone on a sponsored basis, because things are just going to change a little bit around here. I will continue doing reviews, but I'm just finding with the free sample reviews that the tail does tend to wag the dog a little bit, so I think we'll just call a bit of a close to those for now. Anyway, I'm going to give this away. So this phone, if you'd like to win a Mi Note 5A, if you're watching this and it's still March 2018, then you can enter this competition. This competition closes at the end of March 2018, and all you need to do to be in for a chance of winning this phone is post a comment and just tell me which one of my videos you like the best. So the winner will be picked completely at random from the comments, but I am interested to know anyway which of my videos you like the best. So I'll give that away at the end of March 2018. So it's the 11th of March and we're traipsing through mud, and we're going to take a look down in the water meadow that we visited such a lot last year. And just see, this is earlier than we started down here last year, so we'll just have a wander through and watch nature coming to life down here in the water meadow. So you're definitely earlier than our first visit here last year, because my gosh, it's very wet underfoot down here, but I have got boots on, because this is the comfrey bush that we looked at, and those are the first little shoots of comfrey just coming up through the soil there. I'm not sure we're going to actually make it through here. I have got boots on, but it's very, very wet underfoot. We'll see how far we get. No, I think we might have to leave it. That's very boggy along there, and this is going to be one of these things where I get halfway, struggle halfway, and then can't get any further, but also get in a real mess coming back. So I think we'll probably just leave that. We'll wait for the weather to dry out a little bit before we come back down here again. Oh, Eva, did you have to do that right on camera? Yep, so there we go, that's the water meadow. Off limits for now because of the excessive moisture. So this is quite interesting. Here, this little wooded area here, this little copse, has a great many feral apple trees in there. That is, apple trees that have been grown from pips in apple cores that people have thrown away. And when I made my cider press, I did actually come down here to pick apples, feral apples, to make my cider. And what's interesting is that there are still apples around. It's actually March and there are still more or less intact little feral crab apple type apples around, buried under the leaves and undergrowth. And that's just because apples are tremendously good at keeping as long as they're intact. And so there we go, there's just apples scattered around underneath the leaves, still providing food for birds and small rodents. Even here in spring, these apples have been here kind of self-stored for 6 months now underneath the leaf litter. Isn't that amazing? And so, let's have a look. So this apple here, look at that. Completely sound and solid. I mean, I wouldn't want to bite into that, although I am tempted, just to see what it would be like. But that's perfectly sound and edible to a small animal. Not this small animal. So this is the little dell where we saw bluebells last year. Bluebells aren't here yet, but look, there's a little pond here. And actually it occurs to me that look at this pond. The shape of this pond is crescent shaped, and there's a steep bank here, and actually there's a crescent shaped pond. That means it continues back round there. This is an Oxbow lake, a tiny little, well, an Oxbow pond. So this was probably a meander of the river once. See, there's a river just over here, and if we look up here, we can see, I reckon once, probably a long time ago, the river actually meandered around that way and joined back onto itself down there. So there's a little Oxbow just there. How about that? I never noticed that before until it was full of water. So this is the sloe tree we looked at a couple of weeks back in the slow blossom video, and you can see the little buds here a little bit further along and a little bit closer to opening up into flowers, which will be the slow blossoms that produce sloes later in the year. But still, I reckon we've got another couple of weeks until those open up. I just thought this was quite interesting. So we've got thick mud here, and in all this squelchy mud we've got a load of recognisable footprints. Let's see if we can recognise any of them. So we've got people footprints there, obviously from the sole prints of various shoes. Eva, don't mess it up please. We've got some footprints here from a very large dog, which looks like maybe it needs its claws trimmed. See, we can actually see the holes made by the claws around there. But probably most interesting of all, we've got deer prints. So there we go, the two-toed footprint of a deer, quite a large deer I would say, that one. And let's have a look. Yeah, there's another one there, possibly a smaller animal. Now if I was better at this I'd be able to tell you what kind of deer that was, but suffice it to say I recognise that is a deer footprint, and that's as far as it goes. This is a nice thing to see here. These are true wild daffodils in the hedgerow here. So these aren't planted or cultivated. Well, somebody may have planted them here, but that is the natural wild daffodil species. Let's get a close look. In case you're wondering what the background noise is, there's a large horse in that field grazing. So thanks for joining me on this rather damp little exploration of the spring woods and fields. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.